course, there's always the crazy people in the fringes, but all in all, most of the people who thought that we will ever have peace with those savages woke up from that dream to realize that that's it. Enough is enough. A lot of people don't know that this war did not start on October 7th. This is an illusion. In fact, the war goes back to November 29, 1947. I want you to see the map that the United Nations drew in order to have that portion of Palestine divided between the Jews and the Arabs. Take a look at this. Everything that you see in orange is actually Arab. Everything that you see in blue is Jewish. We didn't get Jerusalem, Samaria, and Judea. We didn't get, in fact, most of what we got, if you really think about it, a lot of it is desert in the south. But because we just survived the Holocaust, and because we knew that we have to start somewhere, we said yay. But guess what? November 29, 1947, the Arabs said nay. By the way, that's the most generous offer they ever got, ever in history. And they said no to it. And from that point on, they lost every war and it becomes smaller and smaller offer. And trust me, right now, after October 7th, there is no more offer. I don't think a single Israeli is going to offer them any state on any piece of land. If anything, we are now reconsidering going back to resettle Gaza with Jewish settlements there, what we used to have until 2006, I think, or 7, when Ariel Sharon had the disengagement plan. Let me tell you something, folks. We were there. We flourished. We thrived. And our own government pulled us out of there thinking that we're going to let them control this area and turn it into Singapore. But no, it wasn't
good.
Turned into Singapore. They could if they wanted.
Devil's
No.
plan.
Their aim is not to have peace and live next to us. Their aim is not to have peace because they want to live instead of us. They keep saying that and we keep ignoring that. We don't understand that. The PLO was founded in 1964 before Israel had a single square inch of Gaza or the West Bank. We never had it. We only got it in 1967. And so their Palestine Liberation Organization was about to liberate everything, not just Judea, Samaria, and Gaza. When they tell you two-state solution is what we want, they block you. Or they forget to tell you it's not a Jewish state and an Arab state. They want an Arab state and they want a mixed Jewish Arab state. They don't, if you tell them the word Jewish state, they will reject it on the spot. It's an abomination to them from a religious perspective. You understand that? They'll never accept it.
Never.
We have to come to the grips and to understand this is a religious issue here that we have. And this conflict that we have has nothing to do with land. We pulled out of Gaza. Gaza is theirs. Not a single Israeli lives in Gaza. If anything, we supply them work. We gave them water and electricity. What did we get instead? Or in return? Slaughter of our babies, of our children, women, and men. And by the way, most of the places that they entered and they butchered them in their homes are people who actually were left-wing pro-Palestinians for two states. They helped them. They used to take them from Gaza, drive them to Israeli hospitals for medical care. They used to drive them back. They used to do fundraising for clothing and other things.
That's the devil.
Listen, that's why the left in Israel is in such a crisis right now. It wasn't the settlers in the West Bank. It wasn't the religious Jews that were. This was the people
There's the reward.
that were the best friends of the Palestinians who had in their minds the hope that one day we will live side by side with them, and both will be happy.
Illusion.
They're the ones that were butchered. They're the ones that were killed and burned alive, and they're the ones that were raped and beheaded
There you go.
by those savages. So just to understand, right now in Israel, like never before. Look, I'm telling you, it's hard. I'm watching those videos. I'm watching those photos. I don't sleep at night. I have a lot of bad dreams. I have a lot of anxiety. A lot of this is something that I will have to deal with for many, many more years. But I will tell you, through this whole thing, I see the greatest opportunity for Israel to finally get together, seek its God, not be ashamed of being Jewish people, and Jews will return back to Israel. They say as they see that they can be as liberal as they want all around the world, they'll hate them because they're Jews. I see the return of the Jews, the flourishing of Israel. It's going to be an amazing thing. Now, of course, I know the end of the story. I know that there will be another big war, that God will win for us. And I know there will be a fake peace with a fake Messiah and another terrible tribulation.
Amen.
But I will tell you, this is a war we're about to win. And the reason why no other country comes to help the Palestinians. Of course, Hezbollah is not a country. And trust me, take a look at Nasrallah in his speech last Saturday. The whole world was holding its breath. We all thought there's going to be another front. We thought it's going to be a world war.
So
He
scary.
hyped this speech. He gave some teasers and promos. Everybody thought this is it. The stock markets were all plunging. And guess what happened? At the moment where he could deliver, he actually, right there in front of the camera, said, "We are doing our job, but we're not going to start a war. We're encouraging everybody else to, but we are not. We do our job in the north, but it's the Palestinians' war. It's their thing. And then he said something astonishing. And remember, I told you that a couple times already. That Hamas surprised Iran and Hezbollah. Hamas surprised everybody because Hamas jumped the gun too early. Hezbollah admitted we had no idea about October 7th. They knew that there is the grand plan of doing that thing one day, but they didn't know about October 7th. In fact, let me tell you even more. I posted on Telegram on the British newspaper. I think it's Independent. I posted today, and it's amazing. They tell you over there exactly from all the investigation of what happened. We know how they managed to keep the secret that long, and it's called a deadly cascade. How secret Hamas attack orders were passed down at the last minute. The Guardian newspaper, and it's on Telegram if you want. So it's amazing. They found out that at 4 a.m. everybody were called to the mosque for a prayer. Nobody knew about this. I'm talking about the Hamas operatives. Only at 5 a.m. the orders were given, first to the commanders of the battalions, and then of the companies, and then to the operatives. And by 6 o'clock they were armed and started the assault. They reached the fence by 6:29, and the whole thing started.